Hello, welcome to Lord Havoc's Marvel Champions custom content extravaganza. Very excited for another creator spotlight. I love doing these things. They're just awesome. I get to meet such awesome people in this community from all around the world. It's just and get to sort of talk about their stuff, which is awesome. For this episode, I have Yamikarac. I asked in advance how to pronounce it. Yamikarac, the creator of a whole bunch of cool Transformers stuff. Yamikarac, could you please say hi and introduce yourself and tell the people how awesome you are?
Hi, I am Yamikarac. I'm kind of honoured to be asked, actually. It's really cool that there's someone that's doing this kind of thing.
Cool.
And inviting people, which I'm really happy about. I am from the UK. I've been playing Champions for, it's got to be just about 3 years now. It wasn't that long after I moved into my own place.
Awesome.
And I've been a huge Marvel fan for a long time, and I was speaking to a friend of mine who's into board games, and I was like, I want to get something that people can play when they come round. And he was like, oh, I've played this with my mates, why don't you try it out? And I've got a game store, like, 2-minute walk from me. And they got the core set in, and I brought the core set, and within, like, 2 months, I've brought, like, the first 3 expansion boxes and had just dove straight in.
Nice.
And now I own everything. And I've got like a few of my friends in, and we play like 2-player and 3-player and 4-player, and it's I've become a bit obsessed.
It's good. It's good that you own everything now. Now that they're doing the no reprinting thing. Which is unfortunate.
I was like pretty much up to date, and the one thing I was missing was Ant-Man, which my friend had brought not long after we started playing, and he gave that to me, which has completed my collection.
Nice.
And then I've just effectively got like a standing order with my local game store, so whenever anything comes out, they just get it in and I get it straight away. So
awesome. I can understand what they're doing, but the fact that they're not reprinting Hydra or Sinister Motives is just madness. I mean, they're the 2 best expansions. It's crazy.
Like, I can almost understand the really early stuff, but like Sinister Motives is like the 4th box in. And Spider-Man's huge, so. And with them doing more Web Warrior support with Silk coming up, you'd think they'd want to...
Exactly, right. Why do Silk if you're not going to use Sinister Motives? It's weird. I want to sort of circle back again to something you said right in your intro there. I think it was an offhand comment, but I want to narrow down on it. You said you started playing after you moved out. Was that because you were like banned from playing from home? Your parents like anti-Marvel games?
No, not at all. It's just that like when I was living with my family, like there wasn't really enough room to have people round, like, because I've always got my family there, like, I didn't want to like disturb my family having my mates round and stuff, so I used to go around my friends' houses to play and stuff. Gotcha. As soon as I got my own place and I've got a table that I could game on and stuff, it was like, well, I want to get people round and
that's
play,
awesome.
We already play a lot of Magic the Gathering.
Oh, okay.
But I wanted something other than that, something that wasn't just purely like against each other, so having something co-op like Marvel is just great.
Cool, awesome, and something that doesn't cost as much ridiculous money.
Don't get me started on the new Universes Beyond prices.
So. Universe Beyond
coming out.
It's bloody hilarious. So there's a reason they call it Crack the Gathering for sure. So people watch the video can say I usually start with their mod, the person that I'm talking to, their TTS mod, if it's available. Yours is kind of angled in a little bit weirdly because I've moved all your stuff over to the sides, so it's a little bit easier to see because I want to really highlight it and stuff, especially the 2 awesome tokens. I got to tell you, this I must reveal my incredible nerdiness because when I was preparing for this spotlight, I prepared in advance, and I saw the 2 tokens, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's awesome!" And I immediately flipped it and went, "Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun."
Yes. As soon as I figured out that I could make them, I was like, I've got to have an Autobot symbol for player 1, and I was like, I can't have an Autobot one without a Decepticon.
I know.
So.
Genius!
I was really, really excited when I figured out I could make those.
If you never do anything ever again, these are your magnums opens. And my wife was walking past and she was like, "Are you watching the Transformers?" I'm like, "No, come check this out. Check this out." And she's like, yeah, that's all right. I admit that's pretty cool. I was like, yeah.
It's nice to hear someone doing like the old 80s like sort of segue bit as well. Like,
oh, that's my era. The 80s Transformers were my introduction, of course, and the movie, and I don't mind some of the later stuff. I'm not anti the later stuff. I mean, Beast Wars was actually pretty cool, but
Beast Wars was my intro. I would have been, I think, I want to say I was maybe like 4 years old.
Wow.
And I remember being in Woolworths with my parents, and they'd said they were going to get me something, and like we'd never seen this Beast Wars stuff before, and there was like a third of an aisle of just all this stuff, and it was like, if you spend this much money, you get a VHS with an episode on. That's dating this a bit.
Wow.
And I remember it was a 3-pack of, and I can't remember what they're called now, but it was 3 insect Predacons that fused into like one big Predacon.
Wow.
And the episode, it was like, for some reason, the second episode of Beast Wars on video, not the first one.
Oh.
I don't know why they did that, but it hooked me, so...
Oh, that's
here
cool.
we are, like, 26 years later.
I'm a huge Transformers fan, and like I said, it was the 80s series that got me into it, and I actually, I grew up without a father, and Optimus Prime, I used to say that Optimus Prime was essentially my father figure. Like, Optimus Prime taught me what it was to be a decent human being.
I think a lot of people could relate to the Optimus Prime stuff. Like,
I'm not joking.
Like, I've got both my parents, and they're both great. But there is something about Peter Cullen and Optimus Prime, and it definitely
awesome.
Instills some good moral values.
And then, of course, the movie comes out, and I'm heartbroken. Like, a lot of people get upset about the horse in Neverending Story. You know, when the horse dies, and it's sad. Don't get me wrong, it was sad. But when Optimus dies,
turning grey, and his head knocking and on.
I was devastated. I was inconsolable. But and I'm not ashamed to say that. It was an amazing moment, and especially that soundtrack. You've got the touch.
I had the soundtrack for that movie on loop for about 2 months while I was making all of this content, because it's just so good, and Vince DiCola's work on the score is just
it's amazing.
Immersive in the background while I'm designing all these cards and stuff. So
my next door neighbor, like 2 houses down from me, was such a ridiculous mega fan that he imported a Japanese version of the Transformers soundtrack because it had one extra song on it, like one extra track.
That's dedication.
And this is pre-Amazon and all that sort of stuff, right? Like, we're talking like the 80s here. So this is when you had to have, you had to like contact someone overseas, and it's like, hey, if I pay extra money, can you like ship it to Australia? And then like, it's just madness, just absolute madness.
Yeah.
No Google Translate. You had to like try and figure it out.
God, yeah.
Unbelievable. But anyway, let's talk about your stuff. So you said you got into Marvel Champions, you went sick, you bought everything, which is, I think that's pretty close for a lot of us, which is good. When did you start thinking about doing custom stuff?
It was probably maybe about 3 or 4 months after I started playing, because I kind of brought a lot of it and blitzed through like as many villains as I could, because I was like, this is awesome, I want to play all this stuff. And I love a lot of Marvel, but one of my particular favourites is Daredevil, who for some reason we still don't have in the game.
There's a reason. We don't. There's a reason for
it. But obviously, opposite Daredevil is Kingpin. And it was before I'd seen the Hood set, and I sort of like, it was the first thing I designed was like this little Kingpin set, and it was like putting people's Nemesis minions all into the deck to begin with and all that.
Wow, that's cool. Is that on your drive? I don't see that on your drive.
I don't think it is.
It's not on your drive, dude.
Bizarrely. I'm gonna have to find that. I've got the file somewhere. But then, like, one of my friends was like, "Hey, has he just looked at the hood and been like, that's cool?" And I was like, "No, I haven't seen that set yet." And then I looked and I was like, "Oh, this is just kind of what I've designed, but like smarter.
Bit smarter.
Yeah, but so I did that, and one of my other favourites is the Guardians, and I'm a particularly big fan of, like, I've got all of the modern Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, everything from like Annihilation, when we like the sort of modern team formed, all the way up to the end of the Groot Rise and Groot Fall stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of the earlier, like the Abnett Lanning run, like before the sort of movie team properly got together.
Gotcha.
And all of that stuff with like the Universal Church of Truth and Adam Magus and all that stuff. And so like I never got around to finishing it, but I did start like designing some Universal Church of Truth stuff, which at some point I'd like to kind of loop back to and do like the Thanos Imperative storyline and try and figure that out for Avengers. So that's like something that may end up happening in the future if I can sit myself down and concentrate on one topic long enough. So,
and you're a busy man. I've been trying to organise this spotlight with you. It's like a month in the making because you've always got something going on. You're a very popular person, obviously.
Yeah, and when I do create, I tend to go through these phases, and I'll be like hyper focused. So like with the Transformers stuff, I think there's I think I've got 10 different character decks here, plus the 3 villain stuff, and I've got more stuff written in my phone, but all of that stuff that I made, I did within the space of about 2 months, because I was just like, right, I've not got any video games I want to play or anything at the moment. All my free time when I'm not out and about is going on this, and I just like sat down and just made stuff, and then like I got to a point where I was like, okay, I need to take a break from this, I'll come back in a few weeks and do it, and then that was like, I don't know, 10, 11 months ago, and I haven't got around to making the rest of it, and I've started doing Naruto stuff instead. So there may well be more Transformers stuff coming at some point, because I have like a memos docket on my phone where I jot down all my ideas and stuff, and I've got probably another 2 waves of heroes that I'd like to try and make at some point, and I haven't figured out how, but I think it would be really fun now that we've got oversized villains to try and do something with Devastator and the Constructicons.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like, but yeah, I think it would be really cool if you could like have them as villains, and then they like somehow all merge into a flipped over big Devastator card. But we'll figure that out at some point. That's definitely an idea that's cooking.
You could even have them as the individuals as be minions that form together into.
Oh no, that's a cool idea.
Into a villain.
Yeah.
You could have that. You could have that idea for free. It's yours. Take it. If I get Constructicons, I'll be happy. You can have it. That'd be awesome. I've got eight of the heroes are on your table.
That's 8. Is it 8?
Yeah, I just checked your drive, and the Kingpin's not on there, man. Can you chuck it on there? Because that sounds cool. I would give that a go.
Yes, yeah, I'll have to find it again. I've definitely got it somewhere on here.
Yeah, that would be sick. So I've got, so the 8 heroes we've got on here are Optimus Prime, Ironheart, Ratchet, Jazz, Mirage, Hound, Bumblebee, and Sideswipe. Hound, awesome. I love to see the Hounds there. It's great. You've got your villain scenarios as well. Megatron, which I've played on the stream. So there's a video for Megatron out there. Go check it out. Soundwave and Starscream, of course. Bloody awesome. Starscream, Megatron.
Yeah, the sort of the classic trio. Like if I was going to start anywhere, it had to be those guys. I'm just now realising that I haven't added it on here, but it might be in my Google Drive. Is a Shockwave villain with the Insecticons.
Yeah, no, it's here. It's here. I just found it. I was just about to say that.
Oh, is it there?
Yeah, and I go. There's another, and up the top, hidden up the top for some strange reason, you've got Shockwave, Shrapnel, and Astro Train. Shrapnel and Astro Train are the minions. Are they meant to go into?
Yes. I've sort of tried to separate some of the modulars as well, so that people can interchange them with other stuff. So
that's
you can
cool.
Have, like the triple changes in with Megatron, for example, or something like that.
Yeah.
So like I love quite a lot of the different Transformers stuff, but there is just something about the old G1 cast and the designs that just keeps drawing me back.
G1 all the way, sir. It's not even a question. That's awesome. So why? So you said you started talking about Marvel and stuff. Why did you gravitate towards the Transformers then?
Well, I've always been a huge fan. And then, obviously, last year was the anniversary of the original show coming out. And I remember seeing lots of marketing, and they did a thing in the cinema that I went to where they showed the first 3 episodes of the original show, and the first one was a table read by the cast, which was so cool.
Oh, that's cool. Really?
Yeah, like they had the episode was in like the sort of top right corner of the screen, and then next to it you had like there was like Peter Cullen and Frank Welker and all those guys like reading the script out for the first episode.
Was this live?
It was pre-recorded.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like they did it live, but then they showed it at the cinema. There were like a few special showings.
That's so cool.
And then like the second and third episode were just the episodes, but like just getting to see them on a cinema screen was amazing.
Yeah.
But like I watched that again, and I was like, you know what, I just love Transformers. And then I was like playing Champions around the same kind of time, and I was looking, and I was like, well, surely this would just be brilliant to have like the alter ego, because obviously the sort of in Marvel the idea is that like the villains don't know who Peter Parker is, so he blends in, which kind of feels the same as the people don't know that truck is Optimus Prime blending in. And then I was like, hang on, this seems like it would work.
It's perfect.
And then I was like, we'll start with Optimus, and then all of a sudden I was like, well, I can't do this if I don't do this, and I can't do this if I don't do this, and suddenly I had like 8 characters immediately, and I've got more written down with plans.
Yeah.
I've not made them yet, but like I've got sort of about a third of a hero deck's worth of ideas written down for Wheeljack, which I think would be really cool to have him interacting with like tech cards and stuff like that.
He's the scientist one. Yeah, the Wheeljack.
Yeah. And I've got some stuff designed for Blaster, with the idea of having like all of his cassette bots be minions that do different things to boost him up and stuff like that. So that's something that hopefully I'll get around to at some point, because I love Blaster as well.
Yeah, I was saying, we were chatting before I started recording. I was saying it's just a friend of mine mentioned that they're like, it'd be awesome if they brought out a Transformers expansion, because it just works so well. Like the whole concept, the alter ego being the vehicle and the hero being the robot, the in disguise business, and I was like, well, I've got you covered, fam. There's one of our custom creators is got like an absolute crap ton of Transformers content, and I've covered them, and I just had. They were delighted. They were very, very excited to see. They're like, the fact that you had Bumblebee. They were like, oh my god, that's awesome! We're gonna play Bumblebee. And really excited. So it's very cool.
Hopefully they have a good time, because I'm notoriously bad for playtesting my own content, and I'll like make something and then immediately move on to making something else about playtesting it. And so whenever anyone stumbles across my stuff and they're like, I've got to give this a try, I'm like, please let me know if any of it's broken, because I probably haven't tested it myself.
I'm shockingly bad with playtesting as well, don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
I made 2 heroes in 1 week. I didn't play test either of them. That's ridiculous.
I'm like that. The Naruto stuff I only started like 5 weeks ago, and I've done like 4 hero decks and some aspect cards. None of it's been tested. and I just yesterday finished off creating and added to this Vigara deck, which I'm hoping isn't busted, because he's got so much different stuff that I couldn't fit it all into 15, and I've had to kind of like give him the equivalent of a Doctor Strange Invocation deck, which right. I know is risky, because we all know that Doctor Strange isn't exactly a low-tier deck. But this is like based around having to put counters on things first for the cards to pay off, so I'm hoping that kind of extra bit of setup might balance it a little bit more with any luck.
Yeah, so it's not just... So, I mean, that's good. A good segue into your Naruto stuff. So you're not just Transformers, you got Naruto as well. I actually have no idea about anything to do with Naruto other than he's a ninja and he runs weird. Like they all run weird because all the nerds do like the Naruto run. There's a video of like all the nerds doing the new Naruto run at Area 51 or something. I don't know.
Oh God, yeah.
Um,
It's not very practical if you were to fall over because you've not got your hands in front of yourself to catch
Yeah.
yourself with you.
yeah, I guess it works. He's a ninja. He knows how to run. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I got the Naruto stuff on screen here. So you've got 4 heroes already. Is there a villain scenario as well?
I've got most of one written down in my phone planned, which is Orochimaru, which if you haven't watched the show or read the books will mean very little to you, but he's a creepy snake man that looks a little bit like Michael Jackson, like later on in his life.
I don't know how to take that. Is that an insult to Michael Jackson? What am I supposed to say to that?
But yeah, so I'm planning on doing that. With the Naruto stuff as well, if you've not seen any of it, there is a time skip. Quite a lot of anime do that, and there's like a 2-year gap, and a lot of the characters come back and have learned a lot of new techniques. So like Gaara's different because I've kind of done Gaara as more of an amalgamation. Because he does a lot of stuff after the time skip, which they refer to as Naruto Shippuden. So he's like a bit of everything all in one with his Shippuden character design on. The other 3 are all pre-time skip. Now Rock Lee, I might just only have pre-time skip because all of his best stuff is then. But Naruto and Sasuke, I've got there. They may end up getting like another hero deck or 2 each for post-time skip stuff because... the story is like 72 volumes long,
right?
And only the first 27 are before the time skip. So the rest of that is obviously after the time skip. And if you've ever watched any anime that's made by Shonen, you know that the amount of like power-ups and new techniques they learn and stuff is just insane. So there might be like an early Shippuden and end of story version of both of those at some point if I can figure out how to make them mechanically unique from each other instead of just repeating certain cards.
Okay, so if you're a Naruto fan, you're going to be well served. Is essentially what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Like multiple versions of the one character and stuff. Very cool.
And I've got hopefully at some point soon I'm going to get another hero deck of a character named Shikamaru done, which anyone that's a fan of Shikamaru will hopefully enjoy, because he's going to have some attachment cards, a little bit like Banff for Nightcrawler, but not for defending, more for like trying to like lock down the enemies, because he uses like shadows to like lock people in place and stuff. So that's an idea for in the future that I'm hoping to get done at some point.
Okay, cool. Well, it's not going to distract from your Transformers stuff, is it?
What you'll find is I'll probably blitz out 4 or 5 more Naruto things, make nothing for about 3 months, and then randomly you'll be like, oh look, there's some new Transformers stuff.
Cool. Awesome. All right, so we've got the actual heroes themselves. We got some minions, some allies here. Sorry, it's a different like aspect allies, which is pretty sweet. And we've got the scenarios up here. So, like I said, the Megatron I've played already. So there's a video for him. He's a bit of a challenge. Did you make any changes after my video?
I feel like I did.
Cool.
I can't remember what they were. I think there was definitely a couple of wording things that I had to change slightly just to make it make more sense.
Awesome.
I can't remember if I did any more balancing or anything other than that.
Right.
Because it's been probably about 9 months.
I did. It's been a while. I did check out sound when I was doing prep. I did check out Soundwave because I just had to see the cassettes.
Oh yeah.
Very exciting. Oh, gotta do
like
this hand.
I tried to do like, so there's like, because there's sort of the original cassettes and then they're almost like the second wave with like Rat Bat and stuff, weren't there? So
yeah.
I did them as like separate modulars so that people, like if someone only liked season 1 and season 2 or whatever and wasn't a fan of the later cassette box, they could just use like Ravage and Frenzy and Rumble.
Oh, so you did do them. Are there a different modular? Okay, I should have realised that.
Yeah, there should be 2 different.
Yeah.
I think
cassette
'cause
B-sides.
That's
awesome.
B-sides. The other
Oh,
ones,
that's so cool.
The
bonus track. Love it.
Maybe the most difficult thing with designing the cassette bot characters was the artwork for Frenzy and Rumble.
Really?
Because, anyone that is into the 80s cartoon and the comics, obviously there's the which one's which issue with the colouring.
Yeah.
Because they were coloured the one way in the cartoon and the other way in the comics. And so I sort of had to sit myself down and be like, right, one of these has got to be Rumble and the other's got to be Frenzy, and I've just got to make a definitive decision on that and hope that 50% of the fan base don't hate it.
Oh, well, I gotta tell you, I know quite a bit about the Transformers, and I didn't catch on to it, so it looks like you've made the right choice. But I was obviously the most excited to see Ravage, who is the best. What a champion! What an absolute champion!
There is. I don't know if you've seen the Lego Transformers sets they did. They did the Optimus and the Bumblebee. I got them last year as birthday presents off a couple of my friends. According to leaks/rumours, we're getting a Lego Soundwave later this year.
Cool.
And I would be very surprised if he didn't come with like a little Lego Ravage and a little Lego Laserbeak.
That would be a travesty if that did not happen.
Yeah.
All right. So where did you get all this artwork from? Like, because it's not comic artwork. Like, where's it from?
So Google Images is my best friend ever.
Yeah.
And most of it I've managed to rip just straight out. There's a couple I've had to just like AI upscale just to make the images clearer.
Right.
But quite a lot of the art, especially on a lot of the heroes, is from I think it was called Transformers Legends. And it was like a digital card game kind of thing that they did. I didn't really play it.
yes. So you had like the fold out. You had the fold out Transformers.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could like upgrade the cards and stuff as well.
I remember that.
And a lot of the artwork from that is very much one style and consistent. And I found a database with probably about 80-85% of the artwork from those.
Awesome.
Which was copyable, which was great because a lot of it then I was able to kind of keep consistent throughout the different hero and villain cards. That a lot of it was then the same art style.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
handy.
a couple that aren't. I think the Optimus is like IDW artwork and stuff, which there's also a lot of good stuff from if you can find like the front cover images. There's some great artwork inside the comics, but because a lot of it's like multiple characters on screen at once and text bubbles and all that, it doesn't always translate as well onto the cards, but some of it is really, really nice.
Where'd you get the picture for Operation Interference with the top secret and the cassette and stuff? Is that another one from the Transformers game?
Yeah, I think that was from the Legends game again, because they did a thing where like you'd have like 4 copies of the card, and the artwork would be gradually transforming. And I think that was one of them, and it was like the first stage, and it gradually transformed into. It might have been
Buzzsaw.
Buzzsaw. That's his name. Yeah.
Probably Buzzsaw because he's got the same color scheme.
Yeah.
That is cool. Yeah, the artwork. Yeah, the artwork you've chose for it is really cool. Like really sweet. Yeah, love it.
I'm a bit of a stickler with the artwork. Like I don't like it to look bad, so I'll like spend 20 minutes trying to find a piece of artwork that matches a card title or whatever.
I love that you called the other cassettes the B-sides. That is so cool. Love it.
I was quite happy with that when I like came up with that idea. I was like, what can I name him? I was like, oh yeah, that would be cool. Someone will appreciate it.
I know. Well, I appreciate that. I am that person. And I got to tell you, when I was preparing before, I had the Insecticons spread out, and I was doing their, shrapnel, that was the Energon. I was like, I just totally geeked out, man. It was awesome. I love the Insecticons. That ridiculous voices that they have are just bad.
They're just so funny. Like I put them in with Shockwave, based kind of inspired by the Fall of Cybertron game,
Yeah, cool.
from the Xbox, because he sort of like designed and created them in that, and that's like sort of alternate universe, but he's very much like designed to be sort of a prequel to the G1 kind of stuff.
All right. Well, it's one thing I've got to ask. I'm sure somebody is going to ask, because I've got the aggression ones laid out, and
Yes.
I do not see any Dinobots. Where is Grimlock?
So, this is in my list of things that I need to make at some point.
Yeah, do it. That should be the next one.
The plan, I don't think I've got all the cards designed yet, but the plan is to probably have Grimlock as the hero.
Cool.
And then the other Dinobots as ally cards.
Sweet.
Now, I haven't decided yet whether I make them Grimlock specific cards or if I make them like aspect cards, but what I might do is make the others as aspect cards so that you can use them in other decks, and then have Grimlock just be able to use Dinobot allies of any aspect.
Yeah, just do that. That's fine.
Just so that you can, like, because you could have like Slag as aggression and Sludge as protection or whatever, and then you can just include all of them in Grimlock, and then his kit can be more around his sort of angry, chaotic nature.
Well, I'm willing to forgive that Grimlock's not here, only because A, you told me he's on his way, and also because B, you haven't made a Rodimus Prime hero, because that dude sucks.
Oh, I feel like, because I looked at ideas for that, and it's because he's kind of different to Hot Rod, and I quite like Hot Rod, was like trying to figure out the best way to do that, and I was sort of in my brain toying with an idea about like Archangel and having it be Hot Rod, and then the big side flips into Rodimus, so you could switch between. But then I was like, well, if I do that, it will make sense for you to have the Matrix out to be able to flip to that form.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's an idea that we'll shelve and come back to later.
The Matrix he doesn't deserve. Bloody bastard. Got Optimus. You got Optimus killed. Awesome.
Man. At least Optimus came back, I guess, eventually, because everyone was really sad and Hasbro were losing money.
Yeah, we mentally scarred a whole generation of young boys. It's ridiculous. Out of all of your creations, what would be your favourite one? Do you even have a favourite?
Ooh, it's so difficult to pick just one thing. Like, I've got a soft spot for Optimus just because it's Optimus.
Is he the first one you made? Is he the first of them?
Yes, he is. Yeah, like I was like, if I'm going to start, it's got to be Prime first. Yeah. Like, you can't not. Jazz, I just love as a character anyway. I quite like what I did with Hound the sort of hologram cards, being a bit like the preparation cards, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So, like, I'm quite happy with that as well. I'm a big fan of the design of my Ultra Magnus minion. I love Ultra Magnus. He will at some point get a hero deck.
Cool.
Like the idea of him like giving one buff when he's like readied and the other when he's exhausted.
Yeah. That's cool.
I'm also it's my most recent one, so I'm going to be a bit sort of biased towards it, but the Gari deck that I've just designed, I'm quite excited to try and play test at some point as well. Like with the idea of like, because he's all about using sand and stuff, so there's this idea of putting sand counters on and then removing the sand counters to do stuff, and I think that's going to be quite fun mechanically if I've balanced it properly.
You should get your friends to play test for you.
Yes, I tell you what the problem is that we all play in person all the time.
Just get them printed out.
I need to print these off. I don't have a printer myself, but my sister does, so I tend to like get her to print it off, and then I'll just like pay for the cardboard that I print it off on and stuff.
Yeah.
So she's pretty great at that, to be fair, which is good. So I do need to get all of that printed off as well. I've got some of other people's stuff printed off that I've printed off to play test with.
Really? Cool.
Not much of my own stuff. There's... I cannot remember all of the creators off the top of my head, but I've got a second... Like, I've got a binder for all my Aspect cards, and then a second smaller binder with a bunch of stuff. I've got, because I'm a big Guardians fan again, I've got like a Mantis hero, and I've got Phyla Vel and Moondragon.
No way.
Nova's printed off.
So Mantis, so you dropped out a bit. Mantis, and then who?
Mantis, Phyla Vel, Quasar as well, Nova. So like a bunch of the Guardians that haven't got official stuff. If I remember rightly, I think Nova Prime was designed by Odysseus, because I remember designing a Nova Prime ally, and Odysseus had used like the energy resources for a lot of stuff, and I kind of like borrowed that idea for my ally a little bit.
Right.
So that was kind of cool. And a non-Guardians thing, probably my most played piece of custom content that someone else has done, is Rainy's Jane Foster 4 hero deck. I'm a big fan of the comic book run, and I stumbled across the design of that maybe 2 years ago, and I was like, this looks really cool, and I printed it off, and I've probably played 10-15 games just with that Jane Foster 4, because it's such a fun deck and such a cool design. I think Rainy's really captured a lot of the essence of that comic book storyline in it. So that's probably my favourite piece of custom content that I've played of anyone's.
Wow.
So I had to shout that.
That is praise. I love it. So James
So
Foster
yeah, big fan of that. Yeah. The deck flows really well and works with multiple aspects. It just feels really well designed. So I'm a big fan of that one.
That's very cool. Have you got any other creators that have sort of inspired you that you want to shout out? When your creations?
I wish I could remember. My binder's on the other side of the room, and I can't get to it without taking my headset off and making a lot of noise, and I can't remember who it was that designed them. But
That's right.
The Mantis is really cool. The Quasar is very fun. It switches between the two different versions of the character. Wendell Vaughn, and I have forgotten the name of the other character, even though I love that comic book run. It'll come back to me probably. But I think just when I first discovered the Discord, and I joined, and seeing just the amount of different creator channels there were in the previous sort of iteration before it was all organised and tidied up and stuff. Just seeing that there were that many different people creating stuff was quite inspiring, because it's so many people love this game and so many people are inspired to make all this stuff. That in itself is kind of inspiring to then make
cool.
more.
Yeah.
And everyone that I have interacted with on the Discord have all been really nice about stuff. They'll all be like, oh, that's really cool, or oh, that's a good idea, maybe try this. And I've not had any negative experiences with anyone. It's a really nice community to be a part of. So
that is so cool.
It's all just very positive.
Right. Love it. Have you got any customs from any other types of games, non-Marvel Champion stuff? Because
I play a lot of Magic, obviously. They did some Transformers cards for that a few years ago, that flip cards, but they were there weren't that many of them. There were about, I think, 16 that were just bonus cards in a set, and then there were a couple of Secret Lair things that were just other cards with different art, but there was nowhere near enough to make a full deck with, because I play Commander, which is a 100-card singleton. And so, part of what I did when I took a break from making custom Marvel content, was I'd brought them sort of the main 16 Transformers cards for Magic, and then used a card editor and like made alternate arts of about 50 different Magic the Gathering cards, all with Transformers themed art and Transformers names.
That's
and
cool.
just proxied those to make a Transformers Magic deck, which was pretty good. I don't know if they're on my drive. I did post them in my old creator channel before the Discord got tidied up.
Did you?
So
Like the
I
Magic
might
the Gathering
have to-
ones?
Yeah, they were in like the old thing. I'll have to repost them
Yeah.
in my new creator channel now that we've got all that organised, and put them on my drive if they're not already. Because
I
like
don't see
Magic's
'em.
got the thing where they did like existing cards but as characters, and it'd be like the character name as the main title and then like a little box underneath with the original card name. So I did that for a lot of characters and stuff, which was just really fun to be able to be like, oh yeah, I've played Sideswipe, or like, oh here's Skywarp, and Skywarp's actually like Dalek Drone from the Doctor Who Magic set or whatever, but with different art and a different name and stuff like that. So
Oh yeah, I can
like,
see
that was a
your
lot of
I can
fun.
see your Magic cards in your old channel now because I can see the old channels.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
So there's probably about 50 odd cards there, and they're all like existing Magic cards, but they've all just got like different artwork and some of the different names and stuff, just so that I could have Transformers in Magic.
That's cool. Yeah, get them on your drive. That'd be cool. I mean, a lot of Marvel Champions players used to play Magic or still do play Magic. So, yeah, that'd be.
I feel like there's quite a lot of crossover with card games like that.
Yeah, exactly right. So it's. I mean, it's a lot cheaper to play Marvel Champions, but there's a lot of crossover in terms of like plays.
Like, I could rant for ages about the fact that they've hiked up the price of specifically the Universes Beyond stuff, even though it's meant to be standard legal. And surely that's pushing people out of playing standard because they're having to pay like 40% more for a booster pack because it's got Cloud Strife in it than Elvish Mystic or whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah, interesting business practices from Wizards.
I like you being very diplomatic about it. I love it. It's good.
Yeah, like I love the game, and I will continue to buy cards for the game. However, I would love it if I wasn't having to pay £7 a booster pack for the Spider-Man set that's coming out in September instead of like the £4.50 that it is for a normal booster pack.
You're not just going to buy a box.
I am. I've never bought a Magic the Gathering booster box before. Like I used to buy boosters, and then I just started buying singles. But I have, with my local game store, I've pre-ordered a play box of boosters and also the scene box that they've done, which has got like 6 exclusive Spider-Man character cards in, and the artwork all fits together. So if you put them all together, it makes like one big piece of artwork,
Cool.
as well as the cards playable, which is really cool. And I don't know if I'm going to make it to pre-release with my work schedule, but I've pre-ordered a pre-release set anyway, and they've said if I can't make it, I can just have the box with the cards and the dice in. So I'm like, that's pretty great.
Yeah. So you've been going to that store for a while, obviously. I know that they're going to look.
Yeah, they're like, it takes about 2 or 3 minutes to walk from my door to the store.
Oh, that's that's
so
dangerous. That's dangerous.
It's dangerous, but also it's very useful when the Marvel stuff comes out because they usually have their deliveries. They closed for a couple of days and then they have their deliveries, and I can usually get it like on the evening, like sometimes the night before the official release would be, at like 9 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Which is handy. It's only like 12 hours early, but it's nice to be able to just get that stuff around my work schedule.
I've actually bought some stuff from a British card show. What are they called? Tritex Games.
Ooh, I've not heard of them actually.
Yeah, they do some.
I might have to look
some
them up
good
then.
deals. Once they had when the Star Wars card game first come
yes.
out, they had like a really cool bundle that was like $50 cheaper than here, even if you took into account the shipping. I was like, whoa,
that's really good.
Yeah. So.
I was meaning to have a look into the Star Wars game when it first came out, and then I just never got around to it. There was a different one that came out, and I can't remember what it was called, but me and my friend got to try it out before it had come out because I entered a competition a couple of years ago. My mum sent me a link and I won 2 4-day weekend passes for Star Wars Celebration in London.
Wow, that's cool.
So we just had 3 entry to that. And like it was like from the Friday to the Monday, and I had work on the Friday and the Monday. But I messaged my one of my best mates, and I was like, I've won these tickets. Like, you can just come with me if you drive us to London. And he was like, absolutely. And we just went and spent 2 days at Star Wars Celebration, which was amazing. Like they had like there was the trailer for Ahsoka before that had come out, and there was like card game and tabletop game displays. There was a section for like Star Wars Rolex watches, like everything you can imagine. There was like an hour and a half long like panel talk with the like Star Wars toy designers about what figures were coming out, and it was amazing. There was like a giant AT-AT and a TIE fighter, and yeah, it was very, very cool.
So the game you played was probably the deck building game, I assume.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I couldn't remember what it's called, but yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Because I remember there being like a sideways card of a Star Destroyer or something that was really fun.
Yeah.
I can't believe that was like 2 years ago, because I think it was Easter weekend 2023. And it was like the first time it had been in the UK in like 12 years or something ridiculous.
Wow.
So I was like really, really happy, because this year it's in Japan.
Yeah.
And I don't have the money to travel over to Japan.
That's because you're buying all the Spider-Man magic cards. You got no money left. That's the shockers.
Between card games and my recent development of a bit of a Lego addiction, because of some that my friends brought me last year, like I spend too much on physical stuff and not enough on going away. I also collect Funko Pops. That's another monetary weakness.
Dude!
That's slowed down a bit now, but only because I've got like 5 cabinets full of Marvel Funko Pops, so I'm running out of room and characters that I don't own. So, yeah.
You're a danger to your own wallet.
Literally, having contactless on your phone is also dangerous, because you can just tap and think about it later instead, can't you? Maybe I shouldn't have brought that. But I'm happy.
You're young. Yeah. You only live once. Do whatever you got to do. It's fine. You're not hurting anybody. All right. So you said that you got your upcoming project. You got some Transformers stuff to work out. Of course, Grimlock. Because me, Grimlock. And the Naruto stuff for like fans. And you promised me you'd upload the Kingpin scenario. So
yes.
That's very, very cool. Awesome. Is there anything that we that you wanted to talk about that we didn't cover?
I don't think so. I've sort of talked about the Discord and all that stuff, and you've kind of covered some of my cards, which is really nice. So yeah, I don't think there is.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, it's been very fun to sit and have a chat about all this stuff. It's nice to get to know some more people that are into all this kind of stuff. So it's really cool. I think it's really cool that you do this series and like make an effort to communicate with people and like get to know all the people in the community and stuff, despite the weird timing issues that we've had with time zones and
bloody time zones.
But we worked it out. So
we got here in the end, and that was good. I despaired for a bit there. I was like, are we ever going to get to chat to this dude? Like, I want to talk about the lack of Grimlock.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
And then we sorted out, and I ended up being early when I thought I was going to be late. So that was great.
We worked it out in the end. I just noticed one of these Transformers on here. Who is this Transformer here? Who is it? Is it Chaz? I don't know, but I'm looking at something, and his shoulder pad looks like a PlayStation, like the D-pad of a PlayStation.
That is Ratchet. And I think it's some of the Transformers Legends art of him. I think it's meant to be like a red cross, but because there's like a red filter over the playmat, Now that
you're
I'm
right.
looking at it,
Yeah, yeah.
it does look a lot like a PlayStation.
Yeah, I can see it now because I'm the hero. Yeah,
I'm
I'm
never
the hero.
going to unsee that now. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks. Now you won't be able to unsee it. That's it. It's a PlayStation
No.
D-pad, whether you like it or not.
Oh, now that's an idea for an alternate form for.
That'd
a
be cool.
Transformer.
Didn't they
they've
do a
done, like,
Transformer where it was like a
Dreamcast.
PlayStation and a Dreamcast and the
Yeah,
Transform?
I can't remember which way it round it was, but they did Optimus and Megatron, didn't they? And one was a Dreamcast and one was a PS1. I think Optimus was the PlayStation.
That's so cool. Ridiculous.
They'll never run out of ideas for Transformers, will they?
Oh, have you seen the latest one of the Transformer? They transform on their own. Like you don't have to touch them; they just transform.
Yes.
So you just say to Optimus one, you say Autobots roll out, and he'll transform into his truck form, and then then sort of roll.
I saw 2 days ago on Instagram that
Bumblebee.
they've just released a Bumblebee.
Yeah.
They had some. I went to London a couple of months ago, and in London, in Battersea Power Station, they've got the world's first dedicated Transformers shop.
Oh my god!
And it is incredible. Like, it's not massive, but like, having been a Transformers fan since I was a little kid, it was almost emotional going in. It was like, this is like my childhood dream. This shop does nothing but Transformers, and they got like big statues of the Transformers 1 characters on display that you could like stand next to and pose with, and got like exclusive. There's like an art T-shirt with Optimus over Battersea Power Station and stuff, and like coasters and the automatically transforming ones, and there was like a little photo booth, and they got the G1 score playing through the speakers in the background. It was an amazing experience.
That's sick.
Yeah. So if ever you find yourself in the UK, go to Battersea Power Station. You won't regret it.
That does sound awesome, but just like you, I also don't have any money. But it's not because of Funkos; it's because of old age bills, like adult stuff. Like, there's no money left after that. Cost of living.
The problem, you have your freedom and you have your own place, but then the money that you spend on that,
that's exactly right. I just laugh. I laugh at every kid who's like, "Oh, I can't wait to grow up so I get to do what I want and stuff." No. You're an idiot. Just you're a kid. You've got no responsibility. You've got no bills. Just enjoy life, because as soon as school's over, that's it. It's done.
It's all downhill from there.
It's all downhill. Perfect. That's the perfect way. Well, unlike this spotlight, which is not all downhill from here, this has been great. So, thank you for your kind words before and stuff, and getting to talk to people like you is why I do this. So, I'm glad we were able to organise it. I knew you were going to be cool. I knew it because we've interacted before for when I covered Yamikarac, and I was looking forward to this one because I was like, I know this is going to be fun. It was a fan after my own heart with the Transformer stuff, and it just works so well for the game. It's so perfect. I was like, well, now I don't have to do it myself now because you've already done it all, so it's great. And you've done a great job. It's good. I look forward to your future stuff, and I'll cover some more of your stuff on. I've got. I know I've got Soundwave in the queue. My fabled queue of things that need to be covered. It's hard to get through them.
I can relate to that.
It's crazy just trying to get to these things. It's madness. I know the next one. The next one in the queue is. I've got like 3 different Ghost Riders that I'm meant to be trying. I've been trying to get to them for like 3 weeks now. It's madness. But anyway, I'll get to them at some point.
Trying to find free time is mad, isn't it?
Yeah, and then I'll get to the Soundwave, which I've got to play because I've got to have Ravage. I've got to have Ravage biting my hero's face off because that's just how it's meant to work. But anyway, like I said, it's been awesome. Thank you very much for taking the time. I know it's early for you, and finally getting it done. And
thank you for having me. It's been really cool.
Don't be a stranger, all right? Let's reach out if you got like time for a game or something. You want to get the Transformers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Happening.
I might actually get to play test some of this Transformers stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, let's play test some Transformers stuff. I'll happily be a test your guinea pig. That'd be fine. But anyway, it's time to roll out, and I've got to do it one more time. I can't help myself. All right, here we go. Ready? All right, thank you. If you're watching this on YouTube, which of course you are, because otherwise you could be, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Leave a comment. Say hello to Yami, and share some of your love Transformer stories. Is there something we missed? It better be the death of Optimus Prime. How much did that affect you? Did you cry? Because I did. I'm not ashamed. Yami, thank you very much again, and to everybody who's watching, as always, please make sure that you tell the people that you love them as often as you can, because that's the most important thing. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.